My video for January the 13th, 2020 is number 3334. The title is Lying is Morally Wrong and Even Pernicious. Quote, so let us regard this as settled. What is morally wrong can never be advantageous, even when it enables you to make some gain that you believe to be to your advantage. The mere act of believing that some wrongful course of action constitutes an advantage is pernicious. Marcus Tullius Cicero, 106 to 43 BC, said that. Pernicious means tending to cause death or serious injury, deadly, causing great harm, destructive. I have to ask myself and any others who might be at a place of questioning what we see as reality at this time. Does lying matter? For me, everything in my life has been based on the idea that I came here with a mission. If it's an illusion, as many say, that idea is just a pernicious lie, a cock and bull story. But it's the story of a supposedly loving God. Yes, of course, I see that this is a planet of lies, and apparently lies are the meaning, the challenge of life itself. Even Christians and other religious people thrive on lying based on secondhand knowledge. In fact, professionals of many varieties lie all the time. Investigators and law enforcement officers lie to entrap people. And some have committed suicide because of this, as told in an article I posted on Facebook yesterday. Ignoring difficult questions is insanity. We must face the hard questions as honestly as possible. Yes, I continue to wrestle with the idea that it's just an illusion, it doesn't matter. And the idea that the material world is not the real world, that the real world is something that we cannot perceive with our five senses. It takes ESP, or extrasensory perception, to even begin to grasp the enormity of what life really is. All right, I can accept that to some extent. But I see what's going on, and I've always felt, since I was a boy, and as I've said in so many of my videos, I've always felt that I had a mission, a purpose, to help bring the kingdom of heaven on earth to earth. And that kingdom has to be based on truth, not lies, not deception, not misdirection. It's got to be more than a magic trick. And I'm not knocking my friend Steve, who is a magician, or anyone else that's a magician, as long as those individuals live in integrity to the best of their ability. That's all any of us can do, is live in integrity to the best of our ability. But the world isn't based on integrity. It's based on disingenuous purposes and motivations that are about control, are about making people believe something that is at best a little bit of truth, but a big lie, a big deception. And I don't, I'm at the place where I challenge my Christian upbringing, and I've explored other religions too, and they all have lies in them. But the lies may be based on trying to figure out what the meaning is, trying to figure out if there really is a purpose, or if there's an agenda. And if it's an agenda, whose agenda is it? It's obviously not our agenda, because we're the ones that are either players that perpetuate the lie, or we are those that feel entrapped. And you're not supposed to feel entrapped, because that makes you a victim. And as long as you're a victim consciousness, you can't rise up to become who you are. Well, the truth of the matter is we are all victims of it. Even the perpetrators are victims of believing lies. To me, it's so obvious, but we wrestle with it and we come up with all sorts of ideas that we can escape the harsh realities of the world that we live in by saying, well, we're going to get to a 5D reality or a 10D reality or whatever reality that's a higher reality, and we're going to get out of the 3D illusion, as many call it, where the first dimension is a dot, the second dimension is a lie, the third dimension is a cube. And we are three-dimensional beings and can't see the fourth dimension is insight or intuition. But we can't get to the 5D reality because it has to be given to us as a gift. Well, was it a gift? Is it considered a gift that we were given a planet run by liars? That we find ourselves on a planet where the people that lie the worst are the ones that rise to the highest levels? I mean, look at the governments, look at the corporations. It's all based on fraud. It's 100% fraud in the corporate world, especially at the multi-level corporate societies that exist all over the planet. The legal system is fraud. Now, a lot of attorneys and lawyers have figured that out, but not all of them. A lot of them are still playing the game. Some of my personal friends come from families of judges and attorneys. And many of my friends, like Steve, are magicians that use sleight of hand and various tricks to entertain people. And there is some value in entertainment for sure. I'm not saying that there's not. But for me, I want to get to the place of knowing the truth. Now, I had a conversation with a gentleman who has been coming to some of our meetings, and he has worked as a undercover law enforcement officer and been used for investigations and for, what is it, 17, 18 years, something like that. He's no longer in that. He was let go because of injuries. But in any case, he's another one that's questioning. And I admire people that are willing to take a step back and question, even if they reach the place, as I have, of becoming an agnostic, or as some of my other friends have, of becoming an atheist, because they say, well, if God made it all, then God is the one that's responsible. But God doesn't respond. That's the irony of the whole thing. I, from personal experience, thought when I was younger that God responded. I had experiences that seemed absolutely real or even surreal. But lately, as I've questioned more and more and challenged my own beliefs and upbringing, I get challenged by friends that are still at that place and they don't understand where I'm coming from. And they sometimes point fingers and are very harsh in how they tell me I'm going to hell and other such things. But we have to face these things, folks. We have to start asking the difficult questions and looking at things with a fresh, open mind that says, what if what we've been told is simply based on lies? What if our whole life is nothing but a charade, an act? If that's true, why are we here? What are we doing? Will there be any changes that shift our reality and allow us to experience peace and heaven on earth? I certainly hope so. And I, once again, thank you for taking time to listen. Namaste.